I mean, they haven't been looking too good so far on a lot of different games, excuse me. But still, when we move forward, you can expect some great things from G2 and everybody in company.
So now we're going to see if those numbers are indeed accurate. Kickoff, Version1 going up against G2. And a lot of eyes on G2. With that announcement of Rizzo retiring, as soon as they can replace him this split, a lot of Rizzo fans, a lot of G2 fans hoping that G2 can send Rizzo off on a good note.
Well, I mean, who doesn't want to see that as well? I mean, Rizzo is just such a staple in the community, but that doesn't mean Version1 want to just let Rizzo, the man who's retiring, stomp all over him. He had a solid showing yesterday against KCP in the knockout gauntlet. They broke a North American overtime record. Rizzo was making waves on both sides of the field, and him and Chicago were averaging over 2.5 demos per game, getting very, very aggressive, while JNAPS kind of holds down the fort in the backfield.
Oh,
we'll see if they continue that strategy, and Rizzo, of course, he's going to nail that one and send it home. 1-0, an early start here for G2.
And you see Com hitting that ball with the underside of his car. And that's one thing that you have seen from Version1 before, Turtle. We've all seen it, where Version1 sometimes will commit really heavily and will send the house. A lot of times you see Gimmick staying upfield, sometimes hanging out on the backboard. And so that third man has to be careful for Version1.
When you mentioned Gimmick, I mean, he's the player who got Version1 to this spot, in my opinion. He was so clinical against Ghost Gaming. 50% shooting accuracy, 1.25 goals per game. Stepping up when he needed to. He got the buzzer beater as well to win the series, to get into this playoff bracket. We need to see Gimmick take another step forward and be that aggressor on offense.
Gimmick has always been a great scorer in RLCS. This season, you know, it's pretty well split between all members of Version1 in terms of scoring, but you talk about the impact goals. You can't deny that Gimmick, huge part of that.
Absolutely.
G2, this is a tough opponent. Gibbs said that they did have a slow start yesterday, but still able to make things work.
A big chunk of it was from JNAPS on the third man, sitting in midfield. It's weird because normally we're used to Rizzo playing that role, but as of late, JNAPS has been taking the initiative to play a bit more passive, be the third man, and be very picky on when he decides to move forward, which is why you don't see a lot of open nets on the defensive side of G2 anymore.
It kind of reminds you of the change that SSG made with Sipical back when Space Station just started winning everything.
Yeah. Oh, calm, the double tap
chance. Yeah, he was low on boost, had to be perfect on the read. This was barely off. And sometimes you forget how hard it is to be perfect and accurate on those double taps. The pros, they make it look so easy, but occasionally, you know, you do miss, especially when you're working on limited boosts like Com was in that situation.
You do have to be very cautious as well whenever you're going for those double taps to not bait in your teammates, because whenever you're, say, Gimmick or Torment, you see Com go for those double taps, you automatically assume he's going to hit it and you push up yourself. But against G2, they've got deadly counterattacks. You need to be patient and just give your teammates some space, which is what Version1 struggled to do. Com now saving the shot. I think that was going in.
And that was unfortunate for Com, because Com makes a nice back pass to Torment. Torment shot it right at his face. There's nothing that Com can do. He had zero boost. He just landed. So it was a good pass, but the shot right back at him. G2, it's been a relatively slow start to the game. The only goal that we saw was that mistouch from Com that ended up being an immediate counterattack goal. Rizzo trying to add one more, narrowly missing.
I love seeing Rizzo flying for those third man strikes as well. A lot of times, like I mentioned, we do see JNAPS filling that role, but Rizzo, you love to see the man now getting a demo. This is what he does best, takes the corner boost. Even whenever Com is on the offensive side, he trusts his teammates. Almost was a dangerous move, but G2 narrowly escaped that one.
And this is still A close game. Gimmick going for an air dribble now. Wanting to get a dunk. JNaps has no boost now and gets the corner stolen from him. Chicago and Rizzo both have to jump for this. This is not looking good for Version 1, but JNaps relieves some pressure with a demo. And that was
huge. That demo was massive. That ball was rolling across. Rizzo had barely any boost in net. If the shot comes on, he's not going to get a save. Rizzo did find a touch here, but it wasn't enough because we had the follow-up from Gimmick.
And Torment, he was bullying that ball through. Gimmick finishing things off, and that was still a result of the ongoing pressure. Even the demo, it did relieve some pressure, but you saw the ball rolling back to Torment. He takes it a light first touch into an air dribble. The pressure that we've seen from Version 1 has been really better than what we've seen G2 able to put together. But now G2, you have JNaps coming out from the back, and that's exactly what JNaps does best.
And he did it by himself. Where's the backboard defense? Calm jumped up for that instead of opting to go on the backboard and get a better angle. 12 seconds left. JNaps, a simple little touch, but he's there to punish.
Calm, he was racing at top speed. I just don't think he was ever going to get there. So all three players from Version 1 taking a whack at that one, weren't able to get the stop, and G2 steal game one. Version 1, Turtle, they had so much more pressure, so much more possession, but G2 just capitalized on a couple mistakes.
Well, and even after all that pressure possession, you still fall short on defense because of one simple decision from Calm to not go on the backboard. And that's a situation that only comes out of panic and fear because you're trying to deal with the counterattack. You don't know where to go. Instead, you're just going to opt to go straight up for the ball. Calm can't get the touch. And because of that mistake, we've got a G2 win, which feels almost like they're stealing this from Version 1.
Oh, you know, did they steal it or was it a gift? You know, it's tough to really know. Calm.
Here we go again.
A couple missed touches or missed plays. You even remember back to the double tap opportunity that he had. He was low boost, but I still think he could have hit that. You give him another chance, he's probably scoring that goal. So a slow start specifically from Calm. So keep your eyes on him. Calm, that player who came in, replaced AXB on this roster, and you saw immediate results. And even as of late, Calm, a very solid player for this team. So I don't think G2 can expect Calm to trip up like that again.
Well, in Version 1, need Calm to start stepping up on offense because while I'd mentioned Gimmick being a star striker against their match earlier on to make it here, Calm was the one setting up all of those passes. He was in the midfield getting a lot of those dribbles, flicks like this where he keeps it slow and has that first touch to himself, then moves forward. That's where Gimmick then can shine because he follows up with that strike. Hopefully we see a better game from him and possibly get another Game 7.
And more pressure coming out. Gimmick, a nice bump on JNaps. Torment racing to it, and JNaps flipping in front of Torment, breaking the play up. Chicago with the pinch. It's going to go all the way back to JNaps. Back down to Chicago. Chicago, a hard shot. Torment, though, handling it in net. Demos galore.
It is getting so physical on the field. You see Rizzo or Chicago pushing forward to get a demo, but then on your defensive line, your third man gets taken out. Creates this awkward stalemate between them. Now two demos, Torment and Gimmick. Rizzo's alone. He has to make a touch, and he does find it against Torment. But the pressure is still on for Version 1.
And Version 1 was even doing this in Game 1. They have been in G2's half, dictating the pace. But now we're starting to see some punches back. The amount of demos that I think we've seen more demos in this series than we saw in the FaZe Rogue series already.
I love it, though. I love when this happens between two teams who get so aggressive because it creates all this space on the field, and you will see some crazy mechanics. Just give Calm or JNaps some time, and they're going to do some magic.
Oh, double tap ball for Chicago. Chicago gets denied. Gimmick making the save. Chicago had the read, but he put that shot dead center. Gimmick was right there waiting.
Oh, what a read from Torment there as well. To know that infield pass was coming in, get an interception and stop the transition from G2. Version 1 looked just as great as they did in Game 1. Not as many defensive mistakes, and they're able to keep this one tied.
Looking to improv there. G2 looking more promising on the attack. Now getting a few looks. Calm with a demo on JNaps. Rizzo still going for the pass. He had Chicago in support. Chicago will keep this ball in the Version 1 corner. Torment trying to clear it out, but Rizzo says no. Going for the double, not enough boost. Rebound out to JNaps, the bouncer off the elbow. It's on the goal line. Torment was able to save it. A close call for Version 1.
Rizzo had the double tap, but then opted to leave it for JNaps for a better angle. It faked out the defense. Version 1 respected the double tap, stayed in net, and then JNaps inches away from having it bounce off the post and go in. Instead, it gave Version 1 time to clear it out, and they look to make a counterattack. Gimmick now full boost in the corner. This has been a defensive showing from both teams, James.
It has, and a bit of fortune right now for Version 1. They had the Chicago double tap that was right at Gimmick, and then that shot from JNaps, which hits that elbow and goes out. Could have easily gone in or kicked back out for a rebound. And we're seeing another battle. That last series, the Rogue and FaZe Clan match, that was such a battle. This one shaping up to be similar. Both teams hanging with each other. We're approaching this final minute, still scoreless. Rizzo staying on the wall. Now he'll have to bail out.
Oh, look at the space.
Look at how, yeah, he had so much space, but Chicago couldn't get the lift on that shot. Needed to get more height to beat the defense.
Yeah, and it was a good idea to go for the midfield pass with all that space. That's exactly how Envy had managed to dismantle the Version 1 defense. But you know what else dismantles the defense? Chicago with space in the air, a solo air dribble. You love to see it.
Oh, Chicago getting behind that ball, pushing it. Gimmick thought that he might be able to get the save, but not gonna happen. Chicago stepping up for G2, who have done it again. Last game, we saw them. Oh, that's gonna be a rebound on JNaps. Saves it, still not out of danger yet. Calm with the 50, it'll kick out to the side behind Gimmick, who's got no boost. He'll have to half flip out. G2, man, they are getting away with something.
Well, you could see the hustle from JNaps. He was flipping back, had to pre-flip into the ball, didn't have the boost to get back without those flips. Just got in front of the ball in the nick of time, and now we still see a G2 lead where I think Version 1 100% should have punished there and gotten away with the goal.
I think this game was a story of missed opportunities, really on both ends. Chicago trying to find the corner. He didn't get it, so it's gonna give one last chance for Version 1. Finally, Rizzo hits that down to the ground. G2 taking back-to-back games.
Wow.
And in both games, Turtle, you could make the argument that Version 1, maybe they should have at least sent it to overtime or gotten the win.
Well, this was a great opportunity for Version 1 to get some revenge on that steal in game 1 that G2 had in the final few seconds. Something needed to break for the G2 defense, and it did. We saw it on the kickoff, but then JNaps barely got back in time, and I think Calm could have gone for a midfield pass as well. It was a very, very awkward situation for both teams to be in. As we take a look at the replays, we can see the mechanics, the double taps from Chicago, and even Rizzo here faking it, leaving it for JNaps to go off the corner, missed opportunities left and right, and eventually it just took Chicago to have a couple of touches in the air and carry it into the back of the net.
Chicago, such a good player. I mean, Chicago, ever since he joined G2, he has lived up to the hype, and he usually the one to step up and lead. You just look at his stats. He is such a rock-solid player. Chicago, that was a big-time goal there. So Version 1, they can't afford to give up another one. Having to reverse sweep G2 in a best-of-7, going to be tough. And that, if they do drop this game, you expect a timeout to get called so that they can get their feet back under them. Gimmick, that one, he placed perfectly. Saw the defender on the far side of the net, put it on the other side.
Well, and the question is, where was that rotation? JNaps needed to get a touch in, and then Chicago's coming back from being a bit aggressive on the ball previously. G2 defense breaking down, and Version 1 get a good start to this game. Still plenty of time left, but that's how you want to make this comeback in the series.
Chicago going for the flip reset. Rizzo getting a demo. You talked about Chicago and Rizzo, their demos prior to the series. And then at the beginning, we did see so many demos. It's slowed down a bit, but Rizzo looking to revive it potentially.
Well, and he trusts his defensive line, especially with JNAPS playing more passive. Rizzo's able to go for demos, be aggressive, take some boost, and throw off that defense. And that's what's creating a lot of this space on the field that Version1 almost have to give up. They don't have the boost. They can't meet JNAPS in the air right away here. And G2 are able to try to break apart this defense bit by bit. But nothing's budged yet so far in this game.
It's a nice backboard pass. Torment off the backboard again. Gimmick wanted to take the shot, but it's broken up finally. And now on the counter, JNAPS gets chipped over by Com, who gets blocked by Rizzo. This might bounce straight down. It does, but Gimmick.
Good touch.
Gimmick couldn't get it clear enough out to the corner. The straight down bounce ended up doing him in.
Oh, and look at how awkward this is for Gimmick. He had enough boost, but couldn't read that bounce. And then you see Torment was predicting a better hit from Gimmick, cheated out a bit out of the net, and a slow shot, as long as it's accurate, is gonna roll in.
Yeah, and it all came down. You know, that hit was crazy. It was floating up near the ceiling for so long, and then perfectly rolls down. As a defender, that's a nightmare, Turtle. You hate having to play those balls out to the corner.
Well, he rushed it a little bit. Gimmick there had space. He didn't necessarily need to dive so quickly. Could have waited to see and find the reaction of that backboard touch, but instead instantly jumped, making things even more awkward for Version1. And a freebie given to G2.
With tons of boost, though. He'll go for a ground pinch, potentially. No, just going for the 50. Rizzo not even giving him time to think. Gimmick interrupted by Chicago, who's now out of boost. Good touch from Torment. Chance now. JNAPS getting tangled up by Com, and Chicago will bail out G2. As G2 now looks to break out yet again.
That was veteran positioning there from Chicago. He knew that the pass was going to try to come out in the midfield from Torment, who took his time. Chicago then got himself in between the striker and the passer, got an interception, and kept his team alive, still tied up.
Com, fight touch up. Rizzo wants to deny this backboard. Out of boost. It was a weak hit. But look at the space. JNAPS now airborne. Out now. That pinch will send it downfield. Rizzo also low on boost. Com going to go for the corner. Rizzo picking up full, so he'll be able to support Chicago. JNAPS off that pass from Chicago, hunting that backboard. And man, we are back to this tug of war, Turtle.
Oh, Rizzo the bump on Com on the backboard. Almost looked like it was going to be a Rule 1 on the backboard, but both of them decided to leave it, and JNAPS with some space again in the air. The Version1 defense is too slow to rotate. It's the same thing we saw that was plaguing them against Envy, but here's some space. Maybe a 1v2 from Com, the fake in the air, and Rizzo still locking it down on defense.
Com up high. Chicago will deflect it wide. Rizzo attempts to get it downfield, is caught by Gimmick. Gimmick playing it off the defender, cuts quickly, and had it bounce off the corner. JNAPS, the 50, would poke it by Torment. Clears it out by Chicago, but Rizzo right there has Chicago in the middle with tons of boost. The pass was a little weak. Gimmick jumped the lane, and now JNAPS gonna have to play defense, and he does it wonderfully.
Wow. That is the JNAPS we love to see. The pass out to Rizzo, who swipes across. Nice little doink, and he finds the back of the net. Look at this accuracy. What?
Torment, he was bamboozled. Had no idea Rizzo was going to make that play.
Oh my goodness, that clear as well. It seemed like it was going to be a counterattack for Version1, but then JNAPS is there to immediately blast that ball to the other side.
And a dunk shot on target will be saved by Torment. G2. This series in these games, it appears to be close, but G2 continually finding ways to edge out Version1.
Well, it seems like the pressure just isn't getting to them. When G2 are put in awkward situation with a 1v2, a 1v3, it's either JNAPS or Rizzo who are pristine on the back line. Like right in this situation, Rizzo gets the 50. That's all he needs to do. While it wasn't an instant counterattack, he was able to keep his team alive the final 5 seconds. He's taking it slow here. Small decisions like that are what lead to clutch plays and allow G2 to get on match point.
Every little touch matters in Rocket League, and it's been proven to be true here in this series. G2 edging out now 3 games in a row, edging out Version1. And every single one of these games, Turtle, you think that Version1 very well could have turned this around, but now they find themselves down 3. They're going to have to reverse sweep. Do you call a timeout?
Oh, man. I'd say go for the timeout. I think that's the right choice. I think that you should call a timeout. However, I do also understand the argument of just wanting to get back into it. You're frustrated right now. Things aren't connecting with you, but when you're missing backboard reads like that one from Gimmick, something has got to change. You need to take a break, reset mentally, but I guess not. Version1 are just trying to get right back into it, James.
Yeah, and I guess it's up to the players on how they want to approach it. Yep. And if you think about it, every single one of these games has been so close. Yep. Version1 just needs something to go their way, whether it's a 50-50, a pinch, something. We'll flick that high, and that's collapsed on now by G2. JKnaps going to stay behind it. And that follow-up touch beating one defender, but Torment will come in and help out. Gimmick with the catch, going for the 50, pops it up for Calm. And JKnaps again, that third man for G2. He has been filling that role expertly.
I mean, he's clinical on those reads. We saw what he could do with the counterattack. Now, Calm has taken a page out of G2's book with the demos, but the follow-up from Torment just a bit high, and Rizzo's able to carry this one out, still surviving in these dire moments where you'd think you see a panic pass or even clear from G2, but it doesn't happen.
And JKnaps, again, he got in the way of that shot. Didn't get credited with the save, but he was in there jostling the shooter. And now a missed chance. A missed chance for Version1. I thought they might be able to rein it back in. But that was a golden opportunity, Turtle.
Well, we saw Rizzo had pre-jumped the shot, and then Torment left it to go on the ground. Couldn't get the follow-up. Gimmick now with some space to work with. You think every single time you see Version1 get some momentum and keep pressure on, you're going to see a goal. Finally, we do see the G2 defense break down. Version1 have cracked the armor.
Yeah, that seemed like a long time coming. They scored one in game 1. Now getting another one here. It's been low scoring for them. Only 3 goals, I think, so far in this series. Very low scoring. Version1 need to find something on the offensive end. Rizzo will pop this high up. Giving a shot for Gimmick, and that was a cracking shot, but Chicago able to get out there and make the save. Calm dodging a bump attempt by Chicago as well. Rizzo, we hit Gimmick off to the side. Chicago trying to throw Calm off, but it didn't work.
Been watching JKnaps' perspective as well. He's been very efficient with picking up a lot of these boost pads and staying in net as the defensive man so far for G2. Doing a beautiful job. Torment fills that same role as he gets a clear out to Gimmick. We'll see if this develops into something for Version1. But instead, it's Rizzo to clear back, and we've got a midfield battle.
JKnaps going straight for net. Calm did well to get there, and that follow-up, able to clear it off the line. That shot from JKnaps. Gimmick, all he could do is just try to keep that out of net. Couldn't help that rebound. But now G2 on the assault. Calm.
Off the ceiling.
Solo play. Oh. That solo play shut down by JKnaps.
Instantly met in the air as well. JKnaps didn't hesitate to jump up, knew exactly where Calm was trying to go, saw the ceiling touch, and now we can see them move out more on offense. Chicago, a demo. This has got to be an opportunity for G2. Calm. Almost the own goal. It's off the crossbar, off the side post, and it goes out.
And you talk about something needing to go their way. That might be it. The save,
yeah, that's it.
And then the bounce that throws Rizzo off, so he couldn't get the rebound goal. Version1 now, the question is, can they hold on? They haven't managed to score more than a single goal in a game. but it'll be enough if they can keep G2 scoreless for the remainder. J-Naps, light touch, follows up, demo from Rizzo. J-Naps trying to pass it out. He does to Chicago. What a pass from J-Naps.
We don't see him on offense too much this series, but when we do, he's pulling off plays like this. He had 10 boost when he was going for the double tap. So efficient with it and gets the slight little touch to get it past the defender and set up that shot for Chicago. 1 minute and 23 seconds left. G2, it's all tied up.
Now J-Naps trying to do it again.
Chicago
Chicago looking for the demo.
Oh, the fake. Oh, Rizzo hit the brakes. Tried to throw him off.
Now Version1, it's their turn to take an attack. Gimmick flicks that so high off the backboard, but G2, they deal with it. Now a double commit. Rizzo looking for Chicago, who just picked up the corner boost. Will now go for the ball. Air dribbling it out. Blocked out by Gimmick. Right down to Rizzo, who clears it downfield and will chase it. Calm up off the ceiling, now up for Torment. Will boot it downfield. Chicago waiting. And here we are. Another close game, but this time Version1's tournament life on the line. Rizzo, backboard pass. Blocked by Gimmick. And J-Naps had gotten that corner boost, steal Gimmick way out of the play. Opts to just go downfield, and it looks to be the right call. He's able to get full boost now.
J-Naps, he has full boost now. Looking for something to develop on offense. G2 have been knocking on the door to prevent going into overtime, but it looks like this one's gonna drop down unless we see some kind of magic from G2. Version1 does smack it down. We go into OT, match point for G2.
Every game so far has been a one-goal game, and this might be the last game of the series unless Version1 can pull out this overtime victory. Nice touch from Torment, going for the block, bounces straight up again. Calm against Chicago. J-Naps will be able to lob it downfield. Now Gimmick forced to make a good touch. It bounces straight out. Rizzo has to give up on that play. Calm towards net. Chicago. It's going to have to land. J-Naps with the clutch read. Calm didn't have a lot of boost, but if J-Naps doesn't make that read, Calm is scoring it.
Absolutely. And again, coming out as that defender who puts G2 on his shoulders, holding the line down, allowing Rizzo and Chicago. Look at how aggressive they are in comparison to J-Naps, who's waiting in the backfield. His job is to keep the pressure forward, and he's been doing a perfect job at that.
The pressure is on for Version1. Calm gets help from Gimmick. J-Naps last back again.
And he turns it around. It's all the way back in the other side, and G2 can look to make another play.
Rizzo around Calm. Calm didn't even make contact on that ball. Torment, second touch, trying to throw J-Naps off. J-Naps with the pinch, out to Rizzo. Rizzo denied. Calm saves it. It bounces off the post into him and out. Another break for Version1.
The second lucky break. You said they needed something to go their way. That's 2 saves in a row for Calm, where the bounce is exactly what he's looking for to go out and keep him still alive in the series. In the demo, this has got to go in. Of course it does. Gimmick, the follow-up, and they stay alive in this series.
Chicago didn't hit it downfield enough, and this was not an easy shot either. Gimmick has to get to that ball before it rolls up the lip. A perfect ground pinch from Gimmick. That was high pressure. Yeah. Another very slim margin of error that you're working with, and Gimmick made it look routine. Version1 finally getting a win in overtime, and Turtle, those Calm saves off the post.
Oh,
that was the difference.
I thought that was the end. I thought it was over for Version1. As soon as I saw that pass go out of the midfield for Rizzo to get some kind of shot on net, I thought it was over. But then Calm, like you said, getting the final touch. And we have to talk about Gimmick and that punishing shot too. Like you mentioned, it wasn't a difficult read. He had to get the pinch in, because I don't believe the second man would have been able to follow it up and have the angle, because it would have rolled up on the backboard.
Yeah, I know. Gimmick had to make it right there. Otherwise, that ball was rolling. I mean, there was no doubt about it. It was sitting there on the ground. If Gimmick doesn't ground pinch that, the other option that he could have done was just land on the wall and touch it and pass it out to his teammate who is right there. They had so much time and so much space. But if that ball rolls up, we've all been there, Turtle, where you have a wide open net for the longest time, but that ball rolls up that wall and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't get it out in time, but Version1 didn't even have to deal with it. Gimmick, that ground pinch, closing it out. The saves from Com, finally for Version1, something going their way.
Oh my goodness, I'm still looking at that post bounce. I thought it might have gone in. Any later challenge from Com in that situation, I don't think he would have been able to get the save. Clutch plays from Version1. They're hanging on by a thread.
It could have bounced off the post back into him and gone in.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Well. Yeah, that happens all the time. Version1, though, what will they do with this second lease on life? G2, Turtle, they haven't looked unbeatable. Version1 has been hanging with them every single game this series. And now this might be the boost of confidence they need. G2, on the other hand, looking to get a lead and extend it. JKnapp's going to bring this up the wall. Just jump back up off the ceiling, immediately used it, but did not make contact.
I really like that from Com, though. He was way faster to go for the ball, which is something Version1 have been struggling to do. Com accidentally got a piece of it, but it was enough to stall it a few seconds and give Torment some time to react and get a read off the backboard for a clear.
And now Gimmick trying to jump the lane. JKnapp's in Chicago working well together, but Com broke up the passing play. Did it yet again there in the middle. Version1 trying to get some boost. Rizzo coming in with a demo on Com.
I mean, he's supposed to have this hit, but instead he goes for the demo in Chicago. Is also trying to take out a player. Waiting to crack the defense of Version1. Torment not the best 50, but Gimmick takes him out. And JKnapp's is there to follow it up. This is chaos on the side of Version1.
So many demos coming out from G2. But we are still scoreless. About 2 minutes in. And this has been, a microcosm of what the whole series has been. A tug of war between G2 and Version1.
I love whenever G2 start demoing, Com just gets so angry and wants to take everybody else out on the field. It's almost a reminder that he can go for demo Chicago. Barely enough boost to get the save. Version1 are breaking out, James.
They certainly are. And you got to be careful if you're G2. Version1 has showed at every step of the way. Oh, JKnapp's. If he does not dodge that bump, if there's contact there, that is a goal. JKnapp's stepping up, dodging that bump. That would have been disastrous for G2.
And he's the safety net because Chicago missed the read in the corner. So for JKnapp's to be able to recover after his teammate misses, get the dodge on the demo, and still find the save. Wonderful play.
Wonder if we'll see that high-powered G2 passing offense. Been relatively quiet. They've done enough to get the wins. But Version1 has made it difficult every step of the way. Now we see the passing plays coming out from Version1. Com and Torment almost connecting for a stellar play.
Oh, that's got to be an open one for Rizzo. The 1v1, but it's denied. Gimmick! What a dunk. You slapped Rizzo right in the face in midfield, and it goes in as well.
We've all been there. You're trying to fake out the attacker, making them think that you're going to flick it. You try to get him jump to block the flick, but Gimmick, he read the bluff, and he called.
Well, and the amazing thing is that Gimmick was so aggressive as the last man back. Torment, his teammate, who was last back, just got bumped. Here's another one for Torment, who's going to drop it in. The pressure from Version1 has been relentless the past minute.
And you see Chicago got a piece of it, but Gimmick, so fearless. He's up there getting every touch, and sometimes you get in front of net, you make some chaos in front of it, you hope for a rebound. That's exactly what happened. Version1 now, a 2-goal lead. G2 still scoreless. And if Version1 can get the win here, you know that they're thinking, we can do this. We can take this back. We can force Game 7. We're hanging with them every step of the way. We've just been unlucky. That's what they're going to be telling themselves. Double wraparound.
Oh, look at the passing from version 1. It has stepped up immensely. With Gimmick now on the backboard, keeping it a little bit close, things are connecting better for version 1 as they look down the field for their teammates. A lot of times we did see 2 players on the backboard with nobody supporting, but now you can see Gimmick actually goes up to try to help out Calm and get a better transition to go towards G2's half.
Rizzo trying to get G2 back into it. JNap's the backboard pass, but Torment was there. And again, Gimmick in the passing lanes, breaking things up.
Getting that read.
Gimmick will have to make this read, and he does, lightly touching it over to the corner, and gets the second touch before being demoed. Torment hard off the side wall, shooting chance for JNaps. It's hard, right in the middle again. And again, it's saved. Calm there to punch that one away. So now G2, even when they do get looks on net, just not able to put it on target.
Yeah, 5 shots in total so far for G2. Seems like every single one of them was either too weak or directly into the center of the net, allowing the goalkeeper to get the save. They're not going to come back in this game, and they're trying to stop version 1 from getting a reverse sweep in a best-of-7 game.
And Turtle, this series could have been much closer. Version 1 disappointed, no doubt, that they found themselves in this series now down 0-3, but then battling back 2 wins straight. They can do it. You know, version 1, they believe. And now we're getting word that there is a timeout called by G2.
Here we go. Here we go. Now the question is, how are we going to approach this timeout? Like, if you get an extra 60 seconds in this timeout, what are you doing? In my opinion, I would drop the controller, try to reset, just get my mind off of things just for a little bit, so we come back in the next game as fresh as possible. And for G2, they had a couple of chances. I think it's just that shooting accuracy that's really plaguing them.
Yeah, we saw some chances in multiple games this series where the shots were quality shots in terms of power, but the placement not what was needed. Yeah. So now G2 find themselves in a situation where they feel like they've got to call a timeout. It's 3-2 in the series. G2 jumped out to that 3-0 lead. You thought it might have been a quick one. And then in game 4 overtime, version 1 step up. And then now winning a second one in a row. And version 1, if they get the win here, Turtle, there's going to be no more timeouts for G2 to work with. They're going to have to go straight into game 7.
Well, I think it's a good time to do it. I mean, try to stop this momentum as early as possible. Version 1 are, without a doubt, heating up. You cannot deny that. And coming into this next game, we saw how effective it was for the timeout with Rogue in the previous series. Now, will G2 be a bit more aggressive with the demos? Will they continue forward? Rizzo, in that situation too, didn't expect version 1's defensive line to be so far forward. That's something that has changed for them as the series has progressed, James.
Yeah, and you just think back to that Rizzo play, trying to dribble that ball out, essentially teed it up for that goal. When that happened, that put G2 in a very bad spot. So now they're going to get a fresh start here. Game 6, G2. Can they close it out? Version 1, man. Version 1, they're probably upset that they lost those 3 games in the fashion that they did, thinking that they deserved at least one of them, but still not giving up. With another win, they can force the final game of the series. Or will G2 be able to find some offense? Because they've been struggling to do that. Got shut out last game. And even in the other games, you know, they were more capitalizing off of version 1 mistakes more than they were able to generate the chances themselves.
Oh, here's Rizzo, though, the 1v1. He messed up earlier with the gimmick challenge. And you can see maybe that's affecting his mentality. He flicked that ball so early, didn't want to run the risk of having a similar goal that we saw in the last game with Gimmick.
Calm got a piece of that ball, and now a pass off the ceiling. JNap's up to Chicago. Calm trying to get in the way. Chicago looking for the bump on Calm. Calm dodges it, but it doesn't matter. JNap's weaves it around him. G2 with an early goal.
And I love this touch from Rizzo. Calm still had a chance to possibly find a save because Rizzo's only spot would have been that top corner. Instead, he opts to go off the backboard, set up the easiest shot JNaps will ever have as the third man crashing the net. G2, that timeout seems to have worked.
And nothing's better than coming off a timeout and getting that goal. The confidence restored. Another chance. Chicago trying to tip that one off the backboard. Calm a double tap now, and he picked up the mid boost.
And the corner now going for a demo. What more can this man do on the field?
Trying to do work, and JNAP's now out of boost. See if Version1 can quickly transition. JNAP's pass over to Rizzo. The infield pass, but the shot was high and wide. But that is the type of play you're looking for G2 to make. If you're a G2 fan, you want to see them start making those infield passes, taking hard shots. Looking a bit more promising, but now Version1 on the attack. Rebound out to Calm. He's going to pop it up.
Flip reset.
He's only working with a third of a tank. Not much he could do in that situation.
Oh, what a touch from Gimmick as well. He has been in the passing lanes for the past, I'd say, 2 or 3 games. He's been reading this G2 offense so well and keeping them alive. This Version1 offense, without those touches from Gimmick, it seems like they would never get on offense. And when they do push forward, Gimmick gets a bump and is putting in work.
Oh, that was head-on collision.
Oh my.
No chance. Chicago getting manhandled.
And the communication had to have been there, because normally I feel like Calm would not go for a shot, but he heard that Gimmick was going to go for that demo attempt and decided just to strike that one dead center.
Version1 now respond to that first goal from G2. We went 7 in the first series of the day, Turtle. I would not be surprised if this is another one. Calm. All he'll be able to do is get that hit. Oh, and he lands on the 50. That was fortunate for him. The bounce is not panning out.
Rizzo up the wall. Oh, I like the slow play, deciding to go for the ground instead of taking it up the wall. It allows a better chance in the midfield for JNAPs, but just kind of tossed it forward. Didn't do much with it. Version1 are able to clean this up easily.
Rizzo coming off the back wall. Couldn't get the follow-up 50. Torment had that up on the backboard. Chicago clears it, but Calm now hitting it back. Chicago pressing. Calm with the pop. JNAP's is going to leave it for Rizzo. Rizzo shot! Top shelf! A beautiful leave here from JNAP's.
Oh, you can see Calm is freaking out as well with that touch into the midfield. He thought somebody was going to be on the backboard from his own team. Wanted to set up a counterattack play, but nobody was there. JNAP's leaves it for Rizzo to crash that net. G2, they're doing some magic on offense right now.
Oh, I mean, you saw that Calm, as soon as JNAP's jumped, so did Calm.
Yep.
And the fact that Rizzo was able to call him off, JNAP's processes that and leaves it for Rizzo. Rizzo hits that shot, and the placement finally there. But now on the goal line,
oh, not the best
that one
touch.
crossbar down, it's bouncing. The block, Gimmick will score it. Never giving up on the play. He ties it for Version1.
He is an absolute nuisance on the pitch right now. He doesn't go away. Nobody rotates from his own team. Instead, it's just Gimmick 1v3ing, it seems like. Jumping off the side, back wall, going in front of the shot, and getting the dunk. Rizzo now left alone. Version1, they're not going out with a fight.
JNAP's though gonna dribble it. Will have a flick angle. Going for the top corner. It's a backboard bounce. Chicago late to the shot. That flick, that was well done. You want to get those backboard bounces in those situations, but Chicago and Rizzo far away from the play, but G2 still pressing.
Final minute.
Oh, scary touch. Chicago bailing out on the play, opting to get boost, playing it safe. Will pop it up for JNAP's. Going for the flip reset. Wanted to pinch that down. JNAP's will stay upfield. Calm, 14 boost. Low boost, still happy to take his time, and then flicking it above Rizzo.
Oh, Torment's out of position, a little bit too far forward. There's been multiple players from Version1 on the same spot on the backboard instead of opting to go for the challenge, but we see double commits from G2, so a couple of mistakes. You can see both teams have gotten a little bit antsy, panicking a bit, trying to force this last goal instead of getting into overtime.
Oh, a double commit from G2, and Rizzo gets taken out. Torment gonna cut on this. JNap's playing it safe. Pinch, up, down to Calm. Now off the sidewall, Chicago will send it to the corner. Gimmick can't get it to, he does get the dunk. And we've got another overtime. G2 can end it here. Version1 trying to force game 7.
Almost a good little play there, from JNaps off the kickoff. Don't want to keep on or hold on to this ball too long because you could get a similar situation that Rizzo was in previously. That's a good interception. Gimmick has been so difficult to deal with on the defensive side of G2. He is everywhere, taking the boost, getting a demo, and finding dunks.
G2 used up their timeout already. Not going to be able to take a breather if Version1 makes this happen. Oh, and a miss! Rizzo will dribble it back. He's going to let Chicago take over. Infield pass. JNaps will go for the 50 to the corner. Flung back. Torment, low boost. Chicago back into the Version1 half. Calm going to go for the 50 in the air.
50.
Does get it. It touches it down. Gimmick, hard hit off the backboard, but JNaps breaks up the play. Sent right back, though. Rizzo downfield to JNap. Chicago's in the middle. Off the ceiling. Chicago waiting to see what happens. And Gimmick will boom it downfield.
Oh, and that's the play that Calm was going for earlier where he popped it into the midfield. He wanted somebody to be on the backboard. Thankfully, if you're a fan of Version1, Gimmick was in position this time, and they get the clear.
JNaps could end it. Gimmick with the save. Pushes it wide. Rizzo on the backboard. Light touch, Torment out to the middle. JNaps winding up. Calm gets in the way. And now Gimmick beat to the ball. Calm trying to buy time for his teammates. Chicago
there.
First touch, now the 50. It's close to the wall. Rizzo will take it straight up. Now pass. Got some help. Torment off the backboard, going for the air block. Will stay with it. No, he lets Calm come in and take over. Awkward situation here for Version1. JNap's trying to make it more awkward. The flick gonna be saved by Torment. Clears it downfield. Nice bounce for Version1. Calm. Oh, it was a double commit.
Here
Numbers
comes
advantage
G2.
for G2. JNap's in the air, going for the double tap, and that's blocked. That was a huge breakout opportunity for G2. It was a 3v1, and they weren't able to convert.
And it's all thanks to the patience from Torment. He read the air dribble from JNaps, who should have opted to go for a midfield pass. If you're in a 3v1, situation, you've just got to get that ball into the midfield as fast as possible. But JNaps wanted that air dribble. Torment keeping Version1 alive, but how long will it last? This overtime seems to have been all G2.
All it takes, Turtle, is one goal. No matter who's got that possession advantage, no matter how many chances you get, all it takes is that one golden goal. Gimmick.
Musty flick.
Chicago clearing it off to the side. JNaps, he missed that touch. Gimmick out of boost, but Torment will have the backboard pass to Calm. Calm shot off the post and out. The post, it backstabs Calm. It was his best friend earlier, now his worst enemy.
Oh my goodness, we wouldn't see it happen to anybody besides Calm. A rivalry between him and the post. And we keep this overtime going.
Gimmick centers it, but no one's there. JNaps will blast it high. Gimmick, another boomer. Rizzo will stop it at the midfield. Chicago taking over. Flip reset from Chicago out to JNaps. JNaps, the block. But it went right into the post yet again.
Oh, JNaps on mind game. Now going to the right side, trying to get a better angle. G2 have been moving around this Version1 defense, looking to get any opportunity, but they have been met with a fantastic challenge and booming clears like that from Calm.
Gimmick trying to wrap it around. Oh, Calm's backwards. Wasn't able to take advantage of that rolling into the middle. Chicago going for the air bump. Did make contact with Torment, but Gimmick was there to help. Gimmick trying to flick it around the defense. Now booming clear. Gimmick clear it off to the corner. You can see the conservative play style coming out. They're happy to just send it. Torment getting demoed. Gimmick looking for another long clear, potentially. No, he tries to control it, but JNaps breaks up the play. Rizzo will miss it, but it goes out to Chicago. Just flying around on the ground. Rizzo, pop over one. Pass off the corner, gets the double. Going for a bump on Com. He got it. Bump him.
The double
tap. Rebound out to JNaps. It's no good. Now Rizzo forced into a 1v1. And the ball was ditched. Not enough boost to make the play.
I cannot believe it. How did G2 not score on that opportunity? Rizzo got the bump swiping across. The double tap landed right in front of the net, but there was no follow-up in time. We keep going.
Over a full game of Rocket League being played in overtime. Might end here, but Rizzo will break up that double tap chance. Torment, he was on angle. JNaps, the challenge. Torment up, can't beat Chicago. Chicago, another challenge attempt. Com will flick it by Rizzo. JNaps racing back. Com beat to the ball. Gimmick.
Rizzo turned.
Retreating. And well done by Torment, jumping over the block, or jumping over the demo and then getting the block.
JNaps is alone on defense again, but he finds the clear. Look at the give and go. This could be beautiful. Nobody was on the backboard from Version1. The shot from Chicago just wide, and oh no, here come V1. Rizzo's alone, the flick from Gimmick, and it doesn't fall in. That was terrifying from Rizzo's perspective.
Yeah, Rizzo was left high and dry there. 2v1 situation on both ends now. Oh,
I felt so bad for him. Oh my goodness.
Fortunately for G2, help did arrive in time. We are now at 7 minutes of overtime. Version1 trying to force the game 7, fighting for their tournament life.
G2 are used to this. We saw countless overtimes against KCP from G2. We're back in that same situation.
Rizzo high up to JNaps. That 50 getting sent right back by Gimmick. Such a hard hit. JNaps skip. A block by Chicago will send it out to the middle. Torment sees Com. Com had to bail. Double tap missed. Gimmick will turn. Hits Com. Com towards net. It was wide. Rizzo right back towards Gimmick. JNaps upfield. Com will turn. Off the ceiling. Torment
shot
up.
From Torment.
Going for the shot. Far post. Torment far post. A clutch shot. 2 seconds shy of the 8-minute mark. Version1 are sending it to game 7.
And this is what you can expect from Torment. He's not the flashiest player, but when he's up as the third man coming in for the strike, he finds the accuracy left side of the net. 2 goalkeepers were even in position, and they couldn't find the save.
Oh, no. Things get even more interesting.
Oh, dude, I'm freaking out. This is ridiculous. I cannot believe the resilient play we've seen out of Version1. And they missed countless opportunities, and I'm not trying to discredit Version1, but they were in 1v3 situations all the time. Rizzo was alone. They couldn't find the shot. It came down to Torment when 2 players were in net to get into game 7. They have earned their ticket here.
Oh, and now we have a timeout, but this time it's from Version1.
Oh, wait, where's Com? Com's gone. He did. He's gone. He's taking a walk.
Com, he left.
He can't handle the pressure. He needs a break.
He's probably doing some push-ups right now.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to
hey, man. You know, maybe you got to
energy.
Fill back up that water bottle. Oh, there we go. Okay, that was the issue. Just got to keep hydrated, stay in the zone, and go into game 7 with a refreshed mind state. You just got to keep going, though. I mean, this is insane.
And this has been unbelievable. What a series. Version1, you see that look on Com's face. The anticipation of the final game of the series, Game 7. G2, all 1-goal wins over Version1 in the first 3 games of the series, but Version1 have battled back multiple overtime wins, and now they find themselves on the brink of victory.
Com's rehydrated. He's got the water bottle filled up. I cannot believe we've made it this way, or this far, excuse me. I'm still in awe of the performance from both teams. The defense not letting up. Everybody on the pitch right now is playing phenomenally. JNaps with the defense, Torment with that third man striking. Gimmick has been so frustrating to deal with. Every time he's on offense, he's taking the boost. We're going into Game 7 on Champions Field, presented by Verizon 5G. Let's get right into it.
Version1, they want to end that Rizzo retirement story right here, right now. Com, the 50. Oh, Jane Afton Rizzo getting tangled up. Gimmick with the block at midfield, going for another 50. Com trailing close behind. Torment looking for a pass. And now the quick 1-2. Chance now for G2, heading towards net. Version1 clumped up. But as you said, Turtle, the defenses have been holding on. Gimmick diving out there early. Rebound saved from Torment. Torment had 7 saves last game, and he gets a huge one there.
And that is not a good sign. Torment in Game 7 finding saves. That's the last thing you want to see from the opposition if you are G2.
Don't let Torment go into beast mode.
No, it's over.
On
if we get to that, yeah, it's over. If we start seeing this man find saves like that, it could be the end. But G2, they're relentless too. Gimmick takes a note from Torment and finds a save as well.
And that's not the first time he's been on the other end of a G2 shot that's very hard, but right at him. Gimmick not panicking at all, getting the save, and Version1 stay alive. Version1's defense, Turtle, you talked about it. This has been a battle of defenses, and Version1, they look to get better and better with every game.
And G2, they've had chances just like this from Com, off the crossbar and down. Does not fall in, and the shot was almost impossible to read. That's a tough one for V1.
Oh man, if that hits backboard, that's a goal. G2 catching a break with that crossbar bounce. And this game shaping up just like the others. We're past that 2-minute mark, approaching the halfway point of the game, still scoreless. Oh, now Chicago towards net. A race double commit. Chance for JNaps. He puts it far on the far side of the field. Chicago will take over. And now another infield pass.
Another double commit
from Version1.
The panic coming out from Version1. They are all over the place, scrambling on defense to find that save. It is coming down to the final touch, but now things can slow down. G2, you think they should have gotten a goal from what they forced Version1 to do with their positioning, and yet we're still scoreless in Game 7.
And even there, Com had a G2 player hot on his heels, still making it hard for Chicago. That one save, Rizzo getting up close to the crossbar. Chicago backboard pass. Com up early, beats out Rizzo. JNaps down to Rizzo. Rizzo trying to get the infield pass, but he's got one boost.
Off the backboard, Gimmick. Oh, he doesn't get the read, but he actually was patient with it. Really smart heads-up play there from Gimmick. It didn't lead, to any counterattack, but he was able to relieve all this pressure. Things looking solid from Version1, but they are stuck in their own half. Chicago, he finishes it off. JNaps sniped him on the other side.
And you saw Com sitting on the corner, trying to get the boost. He was forced to jump from Chicago when he had nothing, and you've got to stay in motion. If you're Com, that decision to sit on the pad, that cost you right there. JNABs, I think that might have been going in anyway, but Chicago, that extra touch just to make sure. G2, will they be able to fend off this reverse sweep from Version1?
And it's all thanks to the vision from JNABs. He saw where Chicago was, hit it towards that side of the field, giving him an extra chance to find a touch. Version1 need a response. There's barely any time left.
One more could do it for G2. Gimmick with another save. Rizzo zooming in. JNABs with the 50, now off the ceiling. Chicago, oh, Torment, that's a big boom.
Nobody's in net.
Calm, off the arc. Chicago got a piece of it. Rizzo getting it out, but now Gimmick racing to it, but JNABs able to beat him to that ball. The seconds ticking away. Version1. Can they do it? Off the crossbar out. A close call for Version1, and they're not done yet. But now that clear comes
10
out.
seconds.
Calm on the sidewall, taking his time. Going into the air, stopped by Rizzo. Final chance, Torment to the corner.
To the midfield.
To Gimmick. Gimmick can't keep it in the air, and G2 fend off the reverse sweep from Version1.
Gimmick tried to control it to get that buzzer beater. The first touch was just too far ahead of him. There was space. G2's defense stalled a little bit, but it doesn't matter because you held up and stopped the reverse sweep when things look like they are going right against you. Version1 had all that pressure. G2 stood up, built their defense up, and managed to hold on. I love this series. This is one of the best series we've seen all regional long. Oh,
I mean, we're just 2 series in, Turtle, and you look at this with both series going the distance. In that first series, it was all offense. You were just astounded at the offensive plays that they were making. This time, defense was the name of the game.
Yeah.
And Version1, the grit that they showed to battle back and even force that game 7, that was something else. But then in the end, that one play, this was a very low scoring series. That one play, Com wanted to sit on that corner boost. He was gambling. And then, you know, the worst part of it for him, Chicago coming in, threatening that bump. And when you jump, when you've got no boost, you're out of the play for so long. And that ended up being the death certificate that got stamped by Chicago.
Well, and you're mentioning Chicago on offense, but in the final minute, Chicago also managed to get this incredible touch off the backboard, find the read, which G2 had struggled to do so for the past few games. They come out in game 7, clutch it up. G2 move on, and hopefully the rest of the day is as exciting. I'm sure it will be. I can guarantee you.
Oh, man, if that was just the first 2 series, we've got many more to go. We've got Team Envy taking on Kansas City Pioneers, and that's going to be coming up after the break.